Hey there, everybody. Hope you're all having a good week too. I know we're getting towards the tail end of it. I've had some questions about what kinds of sources we should use for our first essay, our Save Me essay. Well, I want us to kind of get our feet wet using research skills again and using research databases. We all know how to Google, and hopefully by the time we get to 1B, we have a pretty good idea of the wild range of unreliability we're going to find on on Google. Some things that are very accurate and very well refereed, and other things that are just partially correct, partially incorrect, misinformed, biased, straight out bonkers. So it's going to be important for us to get our disciplined, well researched, well reviewed research skills back on. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a walkthrough regarding how we can do that. So I know a lot of you have already used the database system online through our library. So in case you're feeling a little bit rusty, let me go ahead and walk you through it. Right here on your menu or dock here on the far left, you can jump over here to Studio Support. Now once you hit that, and you're going to see jump up a bunch of different support services. Go to Library and Research Help. And again, there's awesome services all around here. What that's going to do is get you right here to all kinds of different resources here. Connecting with a Chaffey librarian, learning to chat or text. They may not be online during operating hours only. You'd have to look that up. I don't think they're going to be there exactly right now. But also how to cite your sources. We'll be getting to that a little bit later. But know that that is there too. There are also research workshops and etc. And remember, this is not a hardcore research assignment, but I want you to be able to talk about how you would incorporate certain kinds of research. So, doing that, what I'd like to do very quickly is, give me 1 second, I'm going to have to pause this. So, boom, I just stopped time. But I'm back on now. What I think would be the best way for you to do this, even though there are lots of different ways, would be to use the articles and database list. Notice using one search, you can find books, articles, videos, and a lot of other stuff too. We're not really going to have time to get in deep with books, especially for this kind of assignment, and even some of our later ones. Books are for really going in deep. They take a long time to publish. If you want really up-to-the-date information, looking at articles tends to be better. Now again, like the research in here is not the basis. This is kind of a creative, refamiliarizing with research sources and, kind of strengthening argument as well. So what I suggest you do is go to the articles and database list. And when you do that, it's going to probably have you sign in. I already signed in, so it should be, oh, you know what? It might make me do it here. I like Academic Search Complete because it aggregates, it collects all of these huge research sources in one place. Let's see if it's going to get me in. It's going to make me do it. Okay, I'm already in. It might send you to a login page where you're going to put in your student ID number and then your Chaffey login password. If you got an issue with that, let me know and I'll try to walk you through it. So here I'm looking at it and thinking about what I'm going to do to find sources for this paper. What I would think about basically are a couple things. What are my skills and interests, right? And what is the context? And remember, context is that idea of kairos that we talked about a little bit earlier, the appropriate time and place for something. So you're trying to convince people that they should take you into their tribe or their collective or their reinforced fort or whatever it is, a space station, subterranean lair, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Floating city, like in Bioshock Infinite. Underwater city, like in the original Bioshock. So, what should you put in? I just went with survival skills. And notice a bunch of stuff pops up. Be careful with your spelling because it's a little bit picky. Now, if I go there and then just hit search, there are all kinds of things here, all kinds of articles we have here, and you will notice from 1931 to 2002, whew, we've got 6,800 articles. We're not looking through all that. And do we really want to know about survival skills from 1931? Put it within the last 5 years. So up to like 2017. Now, ooh, bear attacks. I would just kind of pick something that is interested in. If you think you know a lot about bears, maybe this would be a source that you could incorporate. Now, remember, if you put your cursor underneath a little magnifying glass, you can get an abstract. Abstract is a small summary. The article presents a personal narrative of several readers over their survival in difficult situations such as bear attack at the Black Mountains, North Carolina over Mike Wilson. An illustration of survival. Skills for these challenging situations such as helmet usage for bicycle accident. In Men's Health. Kind of a lightweight article. Now, if I really liked it, I could click here and add it to my folder. Let's pretend no. In the face of danger and crisis, your brain powers down. Maybe nothing's really getting correctional careers, survival skills. Hey, if you're interested in going into corrections, maybe this is something you could look at. You know, I'm training, I want to be a corrections officer, parole officer. The article reports that emotional intelligence skills are part of the healing process as well as part of the interpersonal skill building that empowers staff to make changes to their attitudes and relationships. These skills give staff the tools to transform their lives at work, at home. Yeah, it's an emotionally demanding job. The question is how to provide this type of training in a way that officers and other staff will not reject. Cool. So if you're interested in law enforcement or corrections, you could say, hey, I want to do this, knowing that I already have some training in that field and that emotional awareness is something that I've been thinking about and mindfulness is something I've been thinking about, I can be a really important member of your team or your tribe because my added emphasis and interest in emotional awareness can help keep our group emotionally stable and mindful and aware of what kinds of emotional swings we might be having because we're fighting the zombies or the lizard people or the aliens or whatever. The Dragonborn, I don't care, whatever you're going to say it is. So let's say I really want that one. So again, I can go over here to the folder with a plus sign and tick on it. And look, there's a little paper in my folder now. Once you do that, then you go up to the top of the screen here. Here in the folder, you see that my folder has items in it. I'm going to pick one more just for fun. Noah's Survival and Enduring Legacy. Noah's Ark, I don't know. It seems a little out there, but I think, hey, that's kind of an apocalyptic story, isn't it? That's got something going on. It doesn't hurt to read the abstract. This article explores on the nature of survival experience of Noah's family. Topics mentioned include the preoccupation of Noah in building the ark and prophesying doom, the task of Noah to keep all creatures on board alive and well, and witnessing the devastation upon disembarking, the judgment day of sinners. Jewish Bible Quarterly. Academic journal, but also certainly having kind of historical / religious context to it. Perhaps if you are quite interested in the story of Noah, you could use this article to talk about, my interest in Noah's Ark and his, desire to prevail in this huge disaster would make me a good person to add to your tribe or your biopod, or wherever, safety room, panic room, because like Noah, I think a lot about maintaining the biological balance and how important it is to keep a certain amount of animal and plant diversity going. And like Noah, I can help to serve that role because I've studied Noah a lot or something like that. Again, these aren't the tightest arguments yet. I mean, it's going to be a little bit creative here, but it should be kind of fun. The Gaza Strip, maybe, maybe not. Practical survival skills, first aid and natural medicines. Wow, that one's kind of like right in the face there. Um, Again, pretty good. Here's a poem, probably not the best, but anyway. So you can do this. And notice if you continue to type here, look, it says survival skills wilderness, survival skills education, survival skills war. You'll get a different set of articles based on all this. And you might even want to try your own. Survival skills. Suppose you like to cook. Survival skills cooking with only 2 O's. Nothing's coming up, but I'm going to hit search anyway. Narratives of progress, cooking and gender equality among Swedish men. Might be a stretch, who knows? Anyway, maybe you like building things with your hands, or you like repairing cars or something like that. Car repair. Might have something. Again, you just kind of have to fool around. And if you think it just might be helpful based on the abstract, go ahead and put it in the folder. It doesn't cost you anything. So I'm going to go up to my folder now. Boom. Notice it's got those 2 things that I already put the plus sign next to. I'm going to select all. And then what I'm going to do, I can print them. I think the best thing to do is to email them to yourself, because then you've got a record of them right there. Then you get to the email page, email from support at EBSCO to, and then you go ahead and put in your email address. Look at all of mine. Don't hack me. Format rich text, plain text, and check this part out. If you don't remember this, detailed citation and abstract, I would just leave it there. Give me all the citation formats. In other words, how am I going to cite it on my works cited page? I'm not going to use the Brazilian national standards. No offense. MLA, right? It's an English class. So you do that, and it's going to give you a citation that's pretty close. And then you hit send. Boom. And it should pop up in my email. Let's see how fast it is. And there it is. I heard it. I don't know if you could hear it from the other side. My mail's loading. Look at all this. Let's keep moving down. And now I got a lot of pinned things. I'm a busy guy. Look, there's Enrique. He's one of our students. And here it is. Looks like it's loading right now. Now, if you want to, if you've clicked it and you find it still loading too slowly, what you can keep in mind is that you do have it right here. Loading it up from inside your search engine that you used earlier is also a great way of doing it. But here's a record to make sure that you have it, right? So you can go back here, right? Boom. Right here, I'm looking at this. Suppose I just jump here. I'll get a faster load here because I'm already loading it up somewhere else. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it'll work great. that pretty much wraps it up. If you've got any other questions, make sure to let me know. Happy hunting!